Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories.
This post is from the subreddit Am I Overreacting, and it's by user TAAK47. Am I overreacting for screaming at my sister after she destroyed my child's Christmas presents because we didn't do enough for charity? Hi everyone. I, 30 female, have a son, 18 months, who is finally getting the concept of Christmas this year. Admittedly, I was too excited and went a little overboard and spent about $200 on an array of gifts for him to unwrap. I had them stored in a guest room that he doesn't have access to later wrap them. My sister, 39 female, came over to family dinner the other night and was telling me that her and her family decided that they wouldn't be doing gifts this year and would instead be spending that money on angel trees. I told her that I think that's a great idea and good for them. She clarified that we wouldn't be getting gifts from them, and I assured her we did not want or need anything from them. She then asked if we would be doing any donations, and I explained to her that we already did 2 angels this month and will most likely do 2 more next month. After dinner, she brought back the conversation to gifts and asked if we'd also consider not doing family gifts and focusing on charity. I explained that we already bought our son gifts and assumed that was the end of it. She went quiet and excused herself to the bathroom. After a while, she came back to the table and quickly left our house. I went to the guest room to grab something from storage and walked into a disaster zone. All the gifts were either smashed or torn apart, and some of the clothes were ripped. I was shocked and called my sister. On the phone, she yelled at me that we weren't doing enough for charity and that instead of replacing the gifts, we should use that money to send to those in need. We got into a huge argument and I ended up hanging up on her. Our family is 50-50 about who is in the right. Some family believe she was just trying to help others, but my dad and other siblings believe she is fully in the wrong. My family is so split that it's threatening our family holidays and everyone is bickering with each other. Replacing all the gifts will be tight, but we can do it. But is this all worth the fighting? Oh my god, OP, your sister sounds like such an unsmokable a-hole. I mean, seriously, who the F does she think she is? This lady is taking virtue signaling to virtue terrorism. And who the F gives a crap about what your family thinks? This isn't an issue. Your sister destroyed your son's gifts, things that you had bought and paid for with love for your son, because you weren't doing enough for charity like she was. She can go right and F herself, and you should go to the police and file a report. That's property damage. But maybe in the holiday spirit, I'd give her one chance to replace everything before I go to the cops. And then the family might actually have something worth bickering about. But honestly, you should block all those a-holes too. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. Little Tickled Bat says she should pay to replace them. Take her to small claims court and see if it was worth it to her when she then has to hand over £200 instead of giving it to charity. Family doesn't always mean blind loyalty. Toxic family members don't have to be suffered. RLLCCR says, not overreacting, and how the F do 50% of family think destroying the presents you got for your child is just trying to help? And Dopey responds, hi and thanks. Unfortunately, their wording is that she was just trying to bring up how upset she was, and she just wanted to show that we did too much for our son. She was the first grandchild for 9 years until I was born, so she was doted on for a long time. Now I understand the self-important stupidity. Henry Cahill says, and that is where any good from doing charity work becomes negative. Charity work shouldn't have benchmarks and performance indicators to measure if enough was done. Any amount that comes from a good place is better than nothing and is probably more than the average person. It sucks that she managed to destroy 2 things at once. Family, especially her nephew's memories of the holidays and any goodwill. I feel like her donations are more virtue signaling than actually caring for the less fortunate folks out there. And Opie responds, I think you might be right. This was her first year doing any angel trees and she steered the conversation towards it a lot. I think it's great when people donate, but you're right, it shouldn't be measured how much you're doing. She also was confused as to why we typically pick teen angels over younger, and I said it was weird. And Wits End Game says, this is actually insane. Not only is her response over the top and entirely unreasonable and violent, but how the F does destroying baby toys result in helping anyone? She needs mental help and repercussions immediately. She can either replace every single item she ruined and apologize, or you can file a police report and let her deal with the fallout. Not overreacting. And Opie responds, after reading some other comments that parrot what you've said, I think you guys are absolutely right. Professional help should be given to her if needed, and clearly it's needed. Opie's edit. Hi guys, just to answer to some questions I keep seeing. 1. Unfortunately, this is a real story. My sister has done a lot of crap to me and my siblings over the years, but nothing physical until now. The more I think about things she's done and this, the more I think it's completely absurd to have this happen. I used to brush it off, but now that it's involved my kid, I can't anymore. I was also trying not to fight or cause stress because I'm 4 months pregnant, so I was inclined to replace things until I realized that wouldn't do anything productive. I would sell my soul to be able to have a normal sister relationship with her. 2. Regarding how she knew I had the gifts in the spare room, I did tell her they were there when she asked. In hindsight, not the best idea I've had. 3. She has stomach and gallbladder issues, so anytime we have a meal, she's usually going to the bathroom for 20 to 45 minutes or longer, so her absence wasn't out of the ordinary. The bathroom in question is next to the guest room and upstairs, so she goes there for privacy instead of using the bathroom next to our kitchen and dining. 4. My dad and siblings are in agreement with me that it was wrong of her and are also bewildered with it. My cousins are 50-50 with saying she's wrong and wanting me to drop it. My uncles, -1, aunts, and grandparents all want me to drop it like we all usually do if there's family disagreements. Hence me saying family is 50-50. My in-laws and friends are on our side. 5. Some people asked about their financial situation. I'm honestly not sure. From the outside, it looks fine, but I can't speculate for certain. She typically buys her kids things whenever they ask, and I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary. Her husband and her don't seem to be fighting either, but again, I don't know for certain. Regarding her donating, our extended family is the type to give a lot to charity, but to me, I've never seen it used as a measurement until now. All I'm aware of is that she saw a TikTok about a lady failing on Angel Tree recipient and it's turned into a trend of doing them. My husband and I usually do 3 to 7 a year, but we've never really made that known to her until she asked, and she said it was weird we usually go for teens or older kids' wishes. That comment really didn't sink in until today that it could be that she's donating to show off. 7. My sister was the only child in our family for about 9 years until myself and a cousin were born. She was heavily doted on, and it does seem that family has just been babying her ever since. And 8. A lot of these comments asked about mental health. My sister has always been a bit bossy and usually the one to plan things, so most of the time we kind of brush it off. When she's stressed, she'll snap, but it's always with words or attitude, nothing physical. I brought up maybe she has an illness to my other sister, and she told me she's assumed that for a while. If our sister has something and wants help, we will absolutely help her. Us, most likely, from afar at first. Alright, well, the community agrees that this whole situation is insane, that the sister is a major a-hole, and that maybe she's got issues. Also, that OP should file a report. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Hi all, first I want to say I forgot to post that her reasonings for destroying the toys was that we went overboard on the amount of toys, about 7 items. We needed to be grateful and give more to charity, and that she was raising concerns that we cared more about us than others this holiday season and that these were replaceable. But none of this was said directly to me, just telephoned through family to me, so I can't validate it. Anyway, my husband and I have really reflected over this since posting, and we've decided that it is absolutely time for her to grow up or get help if she's having issues. We've reached out to her stating that she owes us money or replacements by end of next week, and if not, we have decided to move forward and make a report. While I have not heard back from her specifically, I've had an aunt reach out and pretty much berate me for causing my sister more stress. I just replied that she caused damage to our possessions, and my aunt didn't really seem to listen. After that call, we did decide to listen to these comments and go low contact with extended family, and we texted them that we will not be in attendance this holiday season. Weirdly enough, it felt so great to say that. Shocker, right? My dad wants to help pay and replace the gifts, but we refused. We don't think he should have to do anything, nor my siblings or anyone else. He is open to the idea of having a conversation with her about her mental health or home life, but he wants this to settle down a bit so it's not seeming like we are attacking her. As for now, we are no contact for the foreseeable future. She will not be allowed around our toddler. Thanks for everyone's advice and comments. Heart. Well, OP, I think you're making the right decision. First of all, for your guys' mental health to not have to deal with that. And that if she ever wants to do anything about what's going on with her, she's got the family support to do it. But overall, OP, you're doing what's right by your family and just removing the toxicity. So here's wishing you the best in the future. Thanks so much for sharing and take care. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user LateElderberry9164. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife she was being difficult due to a seating issue at the restaurant? On Sunday, my wife and I were out for a date night. My sister was babysitting our 2-year-old daughter, so we had the night free. I was busy with some friends in the afternoon, so I had texted my wife to make reservations at the restaurant. And a few minutes later, she told me it was done. When we got there and were taken to our table, she said that during the phone call, she had asked for a table next to the window and that the lady who'd taken down her reservation had said she'd noted it down. The guy said there wasn't anything written and there wasn't any window side table free. So if we could be seated at the current table for now, he'd see what he can do. That table was good too, and honestly, I wasn't fussed over the window, so we sat down. A few minutes later, she told me she saw someone be seated at a window side table. I said it was fine, but as the guy walked past, she told him she'd seen someone be seated and we were supposed to be first. He said he'll check it out. When he left, I want to be clear, I didn't say this in front of him. I said, it's our date night, let's not be difficult. She didn't get angry or anything, just said she wasn't being difficult, we were first. A few minutes later, the guy came and took us to a window side table. We had a great night. Later that night, we were in bed. I said it had been a great night, and she said, yeah, despite me being difficult, and seemed a bit put off by what I had said. I said I only meant that our night would be good regardless of where we sat, so it wasn't a big deal. She said, how was she in the wrong? We were promised a particular type of table, and she just kept them to their word. That I was blaming the person who was wronged. I said, okay, I didn't see the point in pushing it, and apologized for my remark. We were planning on another night this weekend, and I just recalled her being mad at me for what I said, so I was just wondering if I was the a-hole that time. Yeah, OP, you were the a-hole. What a passive-aggressive thing to say. Like seriously, let's not be difficult, let's... Your wife made a reservation and she had a specific request in that reservation and was promised that that would be fulfilled. And it wasn't. That would also bug me, and I would also want to get the table I requested for a date night. And you saying in that passive-aggressive way, let's not be difficult, that would have pissed me off too. I don't think your wife was being difficult or unreasonable at all. I think you were dismissive and you acted like an a-hole, and you should apologize properly, not just okay and apologize for your remark. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Apprehensive Rush 362 says, you're the a-hole. It's our date night, let's not be difficult, and our date night would be good regardless of where we sat have two completely different meanings. The first is critical and sounds more like, hey, this is our night, and if you behave like this, it will ruin it for me. The latter is supportive and says, it doesn't matter where we sit, I'm just happy to be here with you. As a long-time service industry worker, we do have to fix our mistakes. If she was told she would have a window seat, she should have one. Of course, things happen and mistakes get made, but upon your arrival, the mistake was noted and she was then given the idea that there was something that could be done. It's completely okay for her to follow up on that. It's not like she had some big meltdown. As a restaurant worker, I would have been completely okay with her behavior and apologetic as the restaurant was at fault. Be genuinely apologetic and book a surprise window seat for her this weekend. Impressive Union 6961 says, not a big deal, but yes, you're the a-hole. She made the reservation, was assertive, got the table she was promised. You did not lift a finger, just called her difficult. Again, not a big deal, but I'm confused how you don't see why she can be upset. By the way, was she mad or just called you on your BS? Jojo Cruz 206 says, your wife asserted herself to the waitstaff to get something she had requested. What about this was difficult? You decided you weren't fussed about it, so you went on to assert that she shouldn't be either. You do realize that your wife is her own person, right? That she is allowed to have feelings about something and assert herself without being judged for it. As it is, she made the reservations, not you. You're the a-hole. Sensitive C5586 says, you're the a-hole, quote, let's not be difficult, quote, you were 100% saying your wife was being difficult and criticizing her. You did not say, our night will be good regardless of where we sit because we are together. That is completely different. Why are your wife's wants unimportant to you? Why did you criticize her for speaking up when the restaurant did not follow up on 1. Her initial request and 2. Promise to move you if a table became available? And No Control 8031 says, I was a bit on the fence about this, but soft, you're the a-hole. Firstly, she arranged it, you didn't. Secondly, she wasn't being difficult. She was ensuring the correct arrangements were being made in an entirely sensible and non-confrontational manner. Thirdly, she had enough emotional reserves to put aside your comment and ensure you had a good time. It's more that you don't see an issue with your approach that slides this into a-hole territory. Well, in different degrees, the community agrees. OP is the a-hole. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Hi, I had received an a-hole judgment on my post, which made me reevaluate how I behaved then. On Sunday, we were going to go out again. I took care of the reservation at a nice restaurant and stressed that we really need a window table. When we got there, we had to wait a few minutes, but we got a window table. My wife joked that we got a good seat without any difficulties. I'm not 100% about this, but it seemed that comment of mine was still on her mind. So I took that opportunity to apologize again for my remark. She said it was all good. She knew and liked that I was easygoing, but she just liked looking outside as well while eating. It was weirdly important to her. We had a great night. Thanks to all those who commented on my last post, it gave me some good insight. And growth. Good for you, OP. That was the right thing to do. So on that note, here's wishing you both the best. Take care and thanks for sharing. Now usually I end up a video with a mood booster post from either petty revenge or malicious compliance. But in this case, I'm gonna end it with one from True Off My Chest. And it's a post from user Dreamcast3. I love my husband. As the title says, I love my husband. We've been together since my sophomore year of high school and we're each turning 30 within the next 7 months. I still get butterflies in my stomach thinking about being held by him and being told that he loves me. He is the most supportive, probably one of the most supportive men in the world. I'm diagnosed with personality disorders and PTSD, and on our relationship I've had times where I'm medicated and times where I'm not medicated. The times where I'm not medicated, it's rough, dark thoughts. I've said mean things that I would never truly mean, and these things I still feel guilty for. No matter what, he was there to hold me and care for me. We would have long conversations about what I've said and done and how it affects us and how to move on in the future. I just want to always hold his hand. I want to always be near him if possible. I want to help his dreams come true and I want to support him through everything. He has a pretty good career. He's worked so hard to get where he is today. I always tell him how much I appreciate him for his hard work and how impressed I am that we've made it this far in life from eating struggle meals, living paycheck to paycheck. Whenever I mention this, he always says, I just want to take care of us and make sure we're stable and have everything we want. He just makes me want to be the best person I can be. I want to fight tooth and nail for life now. I can't imagine leaving what we've built behind. He makes me happy to be alive. He is also the funniest person I have ever met. His reactions are amazing. He does incredibly silly things, and sometimes he jokingly pokes fun at me, and all I can do is laugh. He just bought the Coca-Cola cups they have at some Mexican restaurants, and I snagged a picture of his face opening the box. His genuine reaction is the funniest thing I've seen because the face he makes is one of the happiest smiles I have ever seen on any human. So, what brought me to want to tell everyone about how much I love my husband? I'm so constipated. I haven't had a good crap in almost a week now. I'm so bloated I look pregnant, and it physically hurts to move around and bend over. What does he do? Comes up with wacky solutions. The most recent attempt was blue-collar workers always have to crap 30 minutes to an hour after their morning cigarette and caffeine. He says we have to wake up at 6 in the morning, you have to smoke a cigarette and chuck a monster within 5 minutes, then pretend you're doing manual labor. Then you'll have to crap. F it, I'm on board. The cigarette was disgusting. Don't know how I used to chain smoke those. The monster was the newish strawberry one. That was really good though. He just left for work not too long ago and I haven't crapped just yet, but I'm hopeful. I've been having 2 capfuls of Miralax in my coffee for days and having high fiber foods. I'm trying over here. After I did that, he stayed with me in the bathroom while I showered, took my clothes I was wearing and put them in the wash, and got a new outfit out for me to wear. He then took the pack away and said he's gonna hide it to make sure if I get any urges from this, I wouldn't find them. He calls them medical now. I guess they're crapping cigarettes. He just always goes the extra mile. The effort he puts in is astounding. I love him so much. Update, it worked. I have crapped today. I'm starting to feel lighter. Thank you for your time. Well, OP, sounds like you've got a great partner and you guys are doing great together. So here's wishing you both the best. Take care, OP, and thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.